Hello, my name is Nathan McIntyre. This is my final sprint review build for the balancing class for the capstone project. Uh, I didn't do this issue at all because I just didn't have time, and mostly I just worked on balancing. Uh, I have 9 hours 15 minutes logged playtesting, 8 hours logged on the feedback, and 12 hours logged in bug fixing, which most of the bug fixing, these aren't accurate. I have way more time than this. This is probably like 26 or 27 hours logged. I don't know. My math is broke right now. I'm tired. I probably have like 45 or 50 hours in this. I was just guessing because I'm doing this whole thing by myself. It's just throwing down time. Basically, I created a questionnaire. Uh, I'll show it to you. No one, they answered it, but they didn't really answer it like this. They just looked at this and was like, yeah, 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 yeah. Because one guy was a Twitch streamer, and he answered the questions like back in here. He played through it a bunch. And my other friends, either I watched it as I wrote down their stuff, but I watched it as they either streamed on Discord or like my daughter played it. I would just sit here and watch her play it, and I asked her a couple questions, and she didn't really know what to answer. Uh, I thought she was a good playtester though, 'cause she's not good with WASD. I just wanted to see how far she could make it. To be honest, uh, yeah, play tested some myself. Asked for playtesters in Pirate Software's Discord and their feedback channel. Got a few. I went there because a lot of the people that are in that Discord are already in the industry or have way more experience than I do, and there's a lot of good feedback there. I looked outside my friend circle this time because my friends have watched the game's development and I wanted a fresh take on it, which I still got a lot of my friends' feedback. Still need to watch more of the feedback as they recorded on Twitch, but I'm going to list it. But yeah, which I'll show you some of what was going on in this. Um, as far as this right here, this is all my playtesters. Dan, Jake, David, Sarah, Jay, JG, Chris, Joseph, Kane, and then this is the Twitch guy. Uh, what I have here is if they died, where they died at, what skills they picked, if they beat bosses, notes. Like this is one of my. These two are my friends. He played all the RPGs. He's played a lot too. Uh, Jake usually plays only shooters. He did pretty good for only playing shooters. He doesn't play stuff like this much. She wasn't used to the WASD movement. She died pretty quick, but after like helping her a little bit, and then her second run, she got killed by the ogre. She was trying to figure out. I was trying to explain the line of sight for the companion orb to get it to shoot at her while hitting the ogre at the same time, but it kind of. She doesn't play a lot of games like this. She plays mostly strategy games, not 3D games. Um, I have other notes for people. Like he's an artist. He doesn't play many games, and he still won. But then, like the Twitch streamer tried to do all three shrines at once and died pretty quick. He didn't even kill the first boss. Which I have. I've made adjustments to like on the feedback, and I'll show all this. These were the big points of feedback I hit on, and then I've fixed a ton of bugs. Uh, like I made a lot of HP adjustments, but like let's see here. I think the sprint started on the 21st. Maybe or no, it started on the 27th. Maybe I can't remember. But like here, the 27th, except for fixing like the exploding skeleton, I mainly just worked on fixing the dragon landing because it was tough. Uh, and I'll show it here. What was going on was he's getting stuck in the ground, and I'll show it in the playthrough. I'll go through this stuff as I. Let's just go ahead and do the thing. Exit works. Controls. It's literally just heavy attacks, left click. A light attack is auto now. Right mouse is block, spacebar dash. All three of these use stamina. Escape is pause. There's a tutorial screen. There's another tutorial screen. Heavy attack uses stamina. I reduced how much stamina it costs because it didn't seem like you ever got to heavy attack. Block. You won't regen stamina by blocking. As soon as you let go, it has a second cooldown, then it starts. And then dash, same thing with dash, has a cooldown. Pause works. Resume. What I'm going to show really fast is start going on these. So we'll just go these. I wish these were in better order. Fix skeletons so that only the ones that explode chase after death. So now this guy, he just dies. He doesn't chase after you anymore. But if you go and kill one of these guys, it will chase after you. See the one with the so they're still chasing me for a while. Yeah. You can kind of see it a little bit. Yeah, he's still chasing me. He's got the thing in his orb in his chest. Another thing is the experience system doesn't carry over sometimes when you level up. It does now. This is the easiest way to show it. The first level is 3 experience. Each enemy's, well, each of the base skeletons are worth 1 XP. The bigger the enemies get, the more XP they get to be worth later on. But what I'll show you is I'm probably going to gain like 3-4 levels here. And it used to not carry over. If you got too much XP at once, it would just go to the next level and you wouldn't get to carry it over. But now, see, I just hit level 2. Go with attack speed. And see, I'm still getting levels. Now it carries over. Another thing I need to explain is bosses aren't doing enough damage late game. Oops. I'll go ahead and show that really fast before I get going. I think I'm just spawning in without the purple one. You only have to do the blue one first. And then you can do the orange one. It don't matter after. Safe. Oh. See how hard that hits me? Like it hits quite hard. I'm dead. So the death screen works now. And you just go back to main menu. It used to. So that showed the boss is doing a lot more damage. The death screen wasn't working. Oops. Where's it at? Right here. So what was going on? He dies here in a second. What was going on is
Why'd you do this to me?
I forgot to pause the game.
I did nothing to you.
Because what happens when you die, it pauses the game and then pops up the widget. But I forgot to pause the game, so it just immediately went back to the start menu. But the start menu is blank because you don't hit the button in the results screen to actually load the menu. It just loads the start level, which is just a blank level. So all I really had to do to fix this, see, it just goes black.
Black screen again.
He's confused. He's not sure what's
Yeah,
going
I think I got lucky the first time because...
But now... you just saw it works. All I had to do was set pause on at the end. And it fixed the problem. Wrong thing. Okay, Ice Dome slows everything down. So the updates with the Ice Dome, the Mana Shield, and the Meteor Shower. I set the Meteor Shower to ×3 instead of ×2 because the Ice Dome. I ended up setting the Ice Dome back to normal damage because the Meteor Shower does quite a bit more now. And instead of just doing just ×3 instead of ×2, I doubled the size of the meteors, which helped a lot. Because in the playtesting, look at my meteor shower damage, like 35,041. The highest was 55, and this is the Ice Dome damage. My lowest was 66. I have an 88 and 99. One's over 100,000. Like it's supposed to be. Hold on, I'll explain this. Okay. So when you level up, you have offensive choices, defensive choices, and utility choices. So the Meteor Shower is the offensive choice when you defeat the dragon in the Orange Shrine, and the Ice Dome is the utility because it's supposed to do like a medium amount of damage and has utility because it slows everything. So this is supposed to be doing way more damage than it does. Which I'll show. I also needed to show how I reworded some of the text here in a second. It was some of my tasks. Which those were quick and easy. If I actually get them. Okay, here's one. So it caps at 80%. Here. So I'll show this in a second as soon as I get it. I needed to update the text for damage reduction, stating it also affects blocking. But I need to update the text on various skills explaining what the caps on those are. Oh, where I'm just going to do the show Meteor Shower and not the Mana Shield. I can show you what I did with the Mana Shield. Right here. It was, like, here it says it's too tanky. What I did, where I increased the boss damage.
Well, I'm not sure if that would be a great idea for a 3D game.
This is how the text
Might
used
be a
to be
bit
too.
too
See, it
much
show
clutter.
the cap.
So maybe.
But see, he can. This is the final boss, and he's literally just standing in the damage with this.
Okay, I think I'm at
With the
4
shield.
attacks a second.
Like he's just soaking up all the damage. There was a spot where
Okay.
the ogre attack was up in the air too. Right there. It doesn't. I fixed that as well.
I think at this point I'm pretty much invincible. Shield.
Yeah, he's like I'm invincible. What I did, where I increased the boss damage. Right, like this task right here, or well, this point of feedback, where I increased the boss damage so much, I reduced it. It was at 15 a second, now it's at 10 a second, which is still kind of high, but where the bosses hit so much harder now, it'll it'll let you tank damage for a few minutes, for not a few minutes, for like maybe 5 or 8 seconds, depending on how much health you have, because it scales off max health. Uh, and let you get in some heavy attacks to burn your stamina, and then you can bounce out and let it recharge. So it's a good way to like get a good amount of burst DPS in. Is how it's set up now. Here's the defense one. Need state that also affects blocking. Also reduce stamina needed to block. Caps at 80%. Going on the attack speed for right now though. The thing about the defense stat though is it's kind of skewed on the when it comes to the all the stats I took from the playtesters, because now where it's where damage reduction reduces the amount of stamina blocked, that stat's going to go down. So it won't look like you blocked as much damage if you have the damage reduction. This right here is another one I had. The blue option for a lot of attacks restore stamina. It needs to state an amount, as some playtesters thought it was a percentage of the player's max health or max stamina. They thought it was restoring a percentage of stamina. But I set it to 1, and I'm going to use it. And 1 doesn't seem like a lot, but once you get your attack speed going crazy, it ends up being a lot. Especially when you hit multiple things. So it's 1 stamina for everything. It's just going to keep giving me attack speed. See, you can regen stamina now while blocking because you're hitting stuff. For now, I'll probably be able to permanently block for a minute and not take any damage, just let my health regen underneath blocking. That skill, you can heavy attack actually while blocking and still gaining stamina. He hits a bit harder, so probably not with him. Defense. Yeah, the brush showed in that video a minute ago. I've seen it once in all my playtesting where the red circle spawned up or under the ground, but now, like 99.9% of the time, it's fixed. I think the only issue I'm still having with it is the weird character models. But after I get to change, like when we start importing art assets and such, that'll fix the problem. This is actually my 3rd time trying to record this because there was a bug with, like, this would pop up, and where I get XP, I'm leveling up with him, or from the XP as well, and this was getting pushed back from the other widget popping up for the level up widget, and then this would get stuck, and I couldn't figure out what was going on because every time I killed the dragon, I got stuck with this on the screen from the dragon. But now I fixed it, and now they go in order, and it looks a lot nicer. But now I do damage over time. I hit him and he's still taking damage. Damage over time only applies to the light attack, it doesn't apply to the heavy. And it does scale off of player damage. Try and fight the dragon in a second. I'll show you how. What I did to fix the him going crazy and getting stuck kind of with his head in the map and all that going through the floor. I turned off his when he jumps in the air to do like the meteor attack that you have to run from. I turned off his pawn sensing because that's what was causing the problem. Because he would look down at you, and then his head would get stuck in the ground and he would. But now you can see his shadow. He hits a lot harder too. He took my whole stamina rather. His shadow doesn't tilt up or down. He stays straight up and down the whole time. I apply that same logic to the ogres too, and you can run up under an ogre, and it'll kind of tilt a little bit, but they don't get stuck in the ground. Or I haven't seen it. It'll probably happen now that I said it. The block also has shield gating. I could have carried the damage over. I maybe should have. It kind of makes blocking the dragon's meteors kind of easy because as long as you have like more than one stamina, it'll allow you to block all the damage no matter how hard it is. But if you're getting hit by a whole bunch of different things, you got to get lucky for it to be the big hit. But I am regenerating stamina with that blue skill. Attack speed's gonna be crazy this time. Defense. He's got a lot of health. Technically, you're not supposed to be. He's kind of scaled more for after you beat the Lich boss. And only one boss can spawn at a time, so I gotta kill him to get the Lich spawn. I'm just trying to get the medium so I can show the damage output for it. It's not gonna keep up with my light attack with the dot on it, but yeah. So here's slows enemies and deals damage, lasts 10 seconds, scales off player damage. This scales off max health, and this scales off player damage. This is the one I'm going to take to show like how much of an increase. see how much bigger they are now? Like they're huge compared to like. Look how small the green meteor is from the. I mean, they're moving fast, so it's kind of hard to tell. But oh, the orbs from the other change I made. So those red orbs right there. If they hit you, it'll heal. You can see the Lich's health bar going up. So it's good to kind of watch out for that. Oh, I'm not paying attention on my stuff. The Robin explaining thing, the timer ran out, I think. But the commander should spawn here soon. I don't know if there's anything else I'm supposed to explain from. Oops. I'm going over the meteor. I showed the dragon landing, the ogres doing like the attackers did. Showed that. The only thing I guess I won't really get to show is the ice stone, what I did with it. And the mana shield. It's the ice stone's just basically the same. It just slows everything down instead of just. The only thing that wasn't getting slowed was the black skeletons and the ogres. I don't. None of the bosses get slowed down anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna have a ton of light attack damage. It's gonna be kind of insane. There's the commander. So his damage is up a lot. These spikes hit kind of hard. Even with defense. You're down to like half health. Yeah, they chunk my. Even with regen, it's still. Okay, so yeah, the meteor did 112,000 there. That's a lot of attack damage. Blocked a lot too. But 112,000. It used to be like pretty low. And the when I first multiplied the damage, it was times two. It went to times three. It didn't go up much. I think I was hitting sixties. It was when I increased the area of it is when it went up significantly. They were just too small for the player. I don't want to increase the enemy ones because it would be too hard to dodge. But the ones for the player, it works good now because now it's more damage than this utility skill. So yeah, the that's all the feedback. The bug fixing, just fixing various bugs found playtesting. Uh, Most of it I just described them here. Like, uh, this is in a Perforce. It's where I adjusted lifesteal. I fixed the player. I don't know if it'll show it in this or not. Actually, see how the character will, when he's moving left and right, it'll it'll angle it a little bit left and right. Uh, Sometimes if you got around a lot of enemies, that tilting left and right would get stuck, and he would just shake constantly, even if you weren't moving at all. So I fixed that. Um, Forgot where it was for a second. Uh, Fix that's. Oh, I did the math wrong on the block damage and mana shield because they were way higher than they should have been once I started recording the stats and stuff, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I had to go in and look at and change how I did the math. Uh, Updated. I fixed the player on death. Fixed the walking animation. Fixed. I tried. I started fixing the dragon landing, and this is where I finally fixed the dragon landing, where I adjusted pawn sensing. So when he's in air, I adjusted pawn sensing to turn off while he's in air. Created a new variable to change the acceptance radius based on what attack the dragon is using. So when he lands, it sets the acceptance radius to like 100. So he'll slowly turn around and look at the player instead of having pawn sensing on. Because if the pawn sensing's on, it just immediately does a 180, and there's no like animation of turning around. That's why I did that. Uh, this is where the first time I ran into the level up widget getting stuck on screen. I had to create a bull where every time that you level up, uh, it wouldn't let you get the it would set the bull to yes, saying yes you leveled up, and then it would start a loop like for every like 1/10 of a second, and it would keep running until you made your choice, and then it would add the XP to the next level. And once it did that, and you got the widget level up again, it would create another loop until you finished uh, the next skill selection, which I ended up having to do it like at 10:51 tonight. I found the same bug for the dragon. I didn't even know, like I had tested it, and then it ended up happening while I was making this video before. So I had to fix it and make a new build and stuff. uh, Updating damages. This is where I started trying to fix the ogre attack. I think I got it right there. I don't think it took but a couple times. This is where I started working on the XP bug, so it would actually carry over XP, because sometimes it wouldn't. My math was messed up on it. The dragon meteor damage, I messed up the math on it. Still working on the ogre. There, there's where I think I finally fixed the player character wobble. Uh, Stamina regen. You could dash twice and it wouldn't uh, trigger the cooldown on stamina regen. Same thing with heavy attack. The heavy attack wasn't triggering stamina regen after I fixed it here, so I had to change what I did for the heavy attack as well. Uh, I fixed the movement speed. It was, even though I had variables set and was using the variables for the player movement speed, it was still starting out at 600. And then whenever you made a movement speed choice, it set it to 400 times 2.5%. And it was really weird. I fixed the garlic when it spawned. Used to, it was attached to the character at the start, but now when you select it, it spawns it on the character. That way, as soon as you select it, even if enemies are within range, they immediately start taking damage. Used to, you'd have to get out of range and then get back in range to do damage, but now it immediately does damage. Uh, this, I thought I fixed this, but it's still there. It's just not as bad. Uh, I adjusted the timing on when the widgets pop up, but it'll still, like, if you're holding the forward key, when it unpauses, it won't let you keep moving forward. You have to let go and press it again. But it's still, once you get used to it, it's not bad. Eventually, one day, I need to fix that. But the companion orb was accidentally dealing damage to the player on crit instead of healing, which the companion orb scales crit wise for healing. Uh, the ogre damage, one of the attacks wasn't doing any damage at all. Uh, I think in a previous build I set the dragon to have 0 XP, and I didn't realize it until or it was like last sprint, and I just realized it when I was updating all the XP for everything. Uh, and then I just started doing minor damage adjustments after that, and then tonight I finally fixed that. That was the big thing, the level up on the dragon, because the skill choice would get stuck. But that is basically it. I've got 29 hours and 15 minutes, I guess, logged, but I've probably got like 45 at least in this whole thing. But, yep. Thank you.